These are 5 books that I read after turning 18, which completely changed my life in an unrecognizable fashion. And yes, you notice that in the title it says 5, but these are only 4. Well, that's because one of these I don't actually have a copy in person. It's an audiobook that I'm gonna speak about later in the video. So stay tuned, the last one is a game changer. So, to begin in order how I read them. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This is a book written by Robert T. Kiyosaki, and in short, it focuses about the difference how rich and poor parents teach their children. It's a really good book to develop your mindset in order to be successful in the long term. This isn't about summaries, so if you really want to know what this book is about, go read it. The next book that makes sense to talk about is this, How to Win Friends and Influence People. A book that I cannot speak more highly about. Every single chapter is a rule that you can follow in order to be a better person, establish faster and better rapport with others, communicate more clearly, and generally make others like you as a person. It's not about developing your personality and being just a better person in general, no. It's the way you communicate your idea, the way you handle arguments, and the way you make your first impressions. Implementing these strategies that it teaches you is going to completely change the perspective how you communicate. And shortly I'm going to be moving to a different country, to a university, and I'm going to implement all the tactics to make a good first impression. Book number 3, 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Rumor has it that this book is banned in prisons because the laws of power that are described within make prisoners harass each other and basically become more powerful, which the wardens don't want. I'm not sure if it's true though, but if it is, that says something about the book. To briefly describe it, it talks about the game of power and that every single person is playing the game of power. Some people choose to play it while others choose to ignore it, and that's what separates the powerful from the weak. And if you want to achieve power in life, starting from the age of 18, I highly suggest that you read it. This book rarely appears in such compilations, but it's The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Yes, Eastern philosophy doesn't often appear in video compilations of books that will help you achieve financial independence. But this book is not only useful for military strategists, but also to people who understand the importance of small detail and how small detail can affect the greater picture. And in general, just a very interesting read about how war commanders and polemarchs can analyze their positions on the battlefield in order to determine if they have a winning or a losing positions and how they act accordingly. But reading between the lines can serve you really well in the modern world. Think about the business scenarios that you can implement this in. And finally, a book that I've never saw in a YouTube video ever before, Critical Thinking by Jonathan C. Smith. As it says, this book is about critical thinking and how to distinguish fact from misinformation, especially within the practices of pseudoscience and paranormal. It is genuinely a very interesting read, and I cannot understand the importance and applicability that this has in the real world. Think about what age we're in right now. The AI revolution. Photos, videos, all of that can now be faked with AI, and distinguishing what is real from what is not is very vital just to survive in the modern and in the fast-paced cycle of innovation. Thinking critically can not only help you in business, but also in your personal life, venture, and generally greatly impact the ways you gather information. So all the 5 books that I mentioned are a great read, and if you're just turning 18 or turned 18 recently and haven't read some of these, either read it, listen to the audiobook, or download one of these apps that allows you to listen to summaries of the books. But I want you to tell me what you think, because I may refine this video in the future, and I really want to know your guys' feedback if you read these books and what you think about them. Maybe suggest something else for me to read in the comments. I'm gonna read all of them. Watch this video if you're interested in self-development. Here I wake up at 5 a.m. for 7 days straight to test out whether it gives me motivation to work according to the book 5 a.m. Club. Thanks and see you.